Hello, my name is Daniel Lonberger, and for assignment 5, I decided to go with topic number 2. I hope you enjoy this.
Hello, Zach Morris's phone.
For topic 2, you have decided to get rid of your Zach Morris brick phone. It's important to note that your son is really into tech. He enjoys messing around with electronic things. He likes to make changes. He likes to have control over electronics. He likes to have the newest, greatest thing. Your daughter, she isn't very picky about it. She just wants something that she can text her friends and take pictures with, check Facebook. Your wife, she kind of wants what everybody else has. She's a little bit into fashion, so she likes to be trendy and have the newest, coolest thing. You're kind of like your son. You want the techie thing. You really like to mess with electronics, and you want to make sure that if your son messes something up on his phone, that you'll know how to fix it. So whatever phone he gets is probably the phone that you will get. For my presentation, I'm going to limit the carrier options to three. First being Verizon, secondly Sprint, and lastly AT&T. We're going to look at the phone options now. I'm going to narrow those as well to Apple and Samsung. They seem to be the two most common and popular cell phones amongst the networks. First, let's take a look at the wife's want for a phone. We're going to focus on the Apple phones for her. Maybe she wants to keep up with the Joneses. It's a really easy to use phone. It's very straightforward. And they offer a 5C option, which gives it different colors, and you can even change the backplate of the cover. So if she wants to match something, she can do that as well. As far as the prices, Apple locks in the prices pretty well. We're looking at the manufacturer's retail price. There are options with the carriers to subsidize the phones, um, but we're just going to go ahead and look at the base prices first. I'm going for the most expensive, the 6S Plus. These just came out the other day. Very expensive, $749 for the phone from all carriers. Then you have the 6S, which is smaller than the 6S Plus. You're looking at $100 less. Have the older version of the 6, and then you have the 5C, which is the older 5S type, except it's plastic back with the interchangeable. So it just depends on what she's looking for in the phone. She's probably not so much worried about the newest and greatest. So that leaves either probably the 6 or the 5C. If you're going for the budget, 5C would probably be the better choice. If not, the 6 would probably be well suited for her needs. For the son's choice in phone, like I stated earlier, he's more of a tech savvy kind of person. He likes to mess around with electronics, and the Android platform allows more rooting options than the Apple does. Apple does have a jailbreak, but Android allows a little more leeway in the way that you can customize your phone, add new screens, launchers, whatever you'd really like to do with your phone. You have a wider option of changes that you can actually do to the phone. So I believe this will probably be the best platform for him. We're going to focus on the Samsung line of phones. There are quite a few different types that are available in the Samsung line. Going from the biggest would be the Note 5, and that price range, you're looking around $700. Price does fluctuate between the carriers, right around $40 difference between them. S6 Edge Plus and S6 Edge. These have a curved face design. You can have notifications that show up on the side of the phone rather than having to actually turn on the phone screen. It will show up on the side of the phone, so it might save a little bit of battery time on the phone. And then you have the S6, which is basically their base model phone. Still a nice phone. And like I stated earlier as well, whatever phone your son gets, you'll get as well, because if he's going to root it, he may run into some issues with the customizations, and he'll need someone who knows what to do to get it back if he doesn't know what to do. So whatever phone he goes with, you'll go with as well. And I believe Samsung would be a good choice for your son and for yourself for the technology savvy person. And lastly, we'll look at the daughter. We'll also go with Apple as well for her, just like the mother. Same prices apply as with the slide for the mother. Your daughter will most likely want to fit in with the crowd at school, and mostly the majority will probably have an Apple phone. Again, easy to use. Might be a little bit more important for her for a fashion statement. Just depends on your daughter and her wants and needs. With the 5C, probably the best option. Um, she can personalize it to how she likes it as far as the color of the phone. Really easy to use. Get on the internet, use Facebook, text messaging. Very easy to use phone again. Probably be the best for her. Now we're going to take a look at coverage comparisons between the three different providers. First, let's take a look at Verizon. I've broken it down into nation and into state so that for those who like to travel a lot, you can get an overall look at how well the coverage is throughout the United States. But those who stay at home, it's going to be more important to have coverage here within Georgia. And Verizon, by far out of the three, has the best coverage in Georgia. There are a few areas that do not have direct Verizon coverage. However, they do offer roaming, and those areas should be covered with roaming. So as you can tell from the Georgia map, they have it pretty well covered here in the state. Secondly, we're going to take a look at Sprint for their coverage comparisons. I was a little confused at first with Sprint because I looked at their nationwide coverage map and it looked to be a very good coverage. However, when I drill down to the state level, as you can tell, there are a lot of off-network roaming areas within the state of Georgia. Unless you live around Atlanta or the northwestmost part of the state, you're not going to get very good coverage. There are some spots where Sprint coverage is good around Augusta, Atlanta, like I said, northwest part of the state. But most coverages are off-network roaming or roaming, and if you travel a lot within the state, that's not going to be good for you because you may have to pay extra charges for the roaming fees. So Sprint, out of the three that I looked at, probably has the worst coverage throughout the state of Georgia. However, if you live in Atlanta or in Augusta, around those areas, and you don't travel a whole lot, it may be a good option for you. But for my dollar, I'd want to go with a provider that's going to cover the whole state. That way, in case I have to travel somewhere, I know I'm going to be covered. And last, we're going to take a look at AT&T. AT&T, based on their coverage map, probably falls in second place behind Verizon. Specifically in Georgia, you're looking again at Atlanta and Augusta having most of their digital voice coverage. They do cover a good portion of the rest of the state, pretty much all of it actually, with their regular voice service, but they have a high definition voice service within the darker orange shaded colors there in Atlanta and Augusta. But overall, they do cover the state. It's covered a lot better than Sprint does, but still kind of behind Verizon as far as the overall quality coverage. So AT&T could be an option for you as well, especially in Atlanta and Augusta area where they do have that high definition calling feature for their phone. Again, preference for the coverage. For my money, I would say Verizon has the best coverage in Georgia. For the third and final point, we're going to take a look at the price comparisons for each different provider. It's a little hard comparing prices because the providers offer such differences as far as the data size. Unlimited talk and text is pretty much global between the three. Offered pretty much with all their plans. The price difference is going to be mainly with your data coverage, how much data you can use in a month. For the price point around this $200 range, you get 6 gigabytes with Verizon. It is the most expensive at $223, but it's only $6 to $7 more than the AT&T and Sprint options. One thing to note is that AT&T does allow you to roll over your data. I believe there is a limit though as far as how much you can roll it over. So that could be an option for you if you use data just a little bit and you can keep on rolling over from month to month. And it's the only provider that I know of that does that. And again, these prices are the same, pretty much the same. These are all subsidized phones. You can see that there's two iPhone 6s, the Galaxy, um, and the iPhone 5C. Depending on the provider, AT&T apparently does not carry that here in the area, but Sprint does. Verizon does not as well. Apologize. Motorola Droid appears to be their sub for the iPhone 5C. But again, that's for your daughter. She apparently does not have much of an option as far as what she wants on the phone, just as long as it'll text, take pictures, and get on Facebook. So the prices neck and neck. Verizon has a little bit more data. If you use data a lot, especially with 4 people in the family, it probably would be the better option for you based on price comparisons. And we also have to look at customer service. I do have Verizon. I can speak for them that they do have good customer service. Every time I called, been real easy to deal with. Sprint and AT&T never used them, so I cannot comment on that. And finally, let's take a look at who I think is the winner for this family. Personally, I believe that Verizon would probably fill the need that they have right now for a data plan for a new phone, just because of the coverage that is provided in the state of Georgia and actually nationwide. AT&T is there kind of neck and neck with Verizon. Sprint, uh, if you live in a big city, Atlanta, Augusta, around that area, it may be an option for you. But I think Verizon overall, it would be the better company to go with for this family. Better coverage, more data. $6, $7 more than the other two, but that's $6, $7. You're getting 1 to 2 gigs more data than the other two plans. So I believe that for the money, for the coverage, for the phone options, Verizon will be the best choice to go ahead and replace that Zach Brown brick phone. So that would be my decision to go with Verizon. Thank you.